At Tyler, our vision statement is a success story for every student. You can really see this from the extensive amount of opportunities and options that our students have. That is something that we truly believe in and that we are working towards every day. In this presentation, I'm going to share with you a few stories from our past students at Tyler that really shine a light on those opportunities and pathways, as well as the resources and supports that Tyler has in place to ensure a success story for each and every student. For example, some of those resources include career services, the Academic Resource Center, student activities, library services. It is more than just lending out books. They will help you with online research projects with all of their online resources and databases. You can reserve study spaces and equipment like laptops and other electronics in the library for projects that you're working on for classes. They'll also host workshops throughout the semester for activities workshops and activities for Tyler students throughout the semester. This is just a few of the things that they do just to support our students and make sure that they are getting all the resources and supports that they need. So the first story I have for you is Carice. She, in high school, was very high achieving. She did very well. And while she was in high school, she decided that she had a goal of going to UVA for architecture. So come senior year, she applied, and unfortunately she was rejected. She worked with those UVA representatives to figure out how she could still come to UVA and do their architecture program. And they suggested to go to a community college for 2 years and then applying to transfer. So that is what she did. She came to Tyler, did very well. While she was here, she stayed in contact with the architectural school at UVA and those admissions representatives. And after 2 years, she applied and she was accepted. And then eventually graduated from UVA and got her bachelor's degree in architecture. She now works as a designer with an architecture and interior design firm that specializes in embassy and consulate design for the US government. This is a story that I really like telling because she had this goal of going to UVA and she was rejected initially right out of high school. And what I really like about it is that it shows that Tyler has all these different programs and pathways for our students so that they can really find what they want to do and reach their goals, even though there might be a barrier in their way. It might not be exactly how they originally dreamt it up or thought, but you can still reach those goals, get those same jobs and degrees through Tyler. This is one of the, honestly, I think best things that all the community colleges have in Virginia. Basically, what a guaranteed admissions agreement is a contract between all the state four-year universities and colleges in Virginia with all of the community colleges. They have a contract that lists out the GPA requirements, the courses you need to take, what programs you can be in, and after you complete your 2 year at community college and earn your associate's degree, you have a guaranteed acceptance to that 4-year school. So this is actually what I did, and constantly throughout my whole time at community college and when I transferred, when I would tell people about this program, they were always like, oh, I wish I had known that, because it's a great way to really save a lot of money, because in those first 2 years, you are taking the same 4-year general education requirements that you would be taking at that 4-year school, but paying a whole lot more for it. And while I was going or at community college, a lot of my professors would tell me like, oh, I'm teaching this exact same class, but at VCU, like literally later this afternoon, and using the same exact textbook. But at community college, they were teaching that same class and it was for a lot lower cost. And I think this is just another way that Tyler can really help people reach their goals while also supporting them and making sure that you're not spending all this money that you might not have or racking up student loans. One of the students who also used guaranteed admissions is Ravante. Ravante, right out of high school, actually went into VCU to study mechanical engineering. While at VCU, he wasn't happy with his classes or his experience. He wasn't feeling as fulfilled as he thought he would, and his grades started to decline. Since he wasn't doing so well, he decided to transfer to Tyler and kind of figure out what he wanted to do, what the right path was for him. And while at Tyler, he was exploring some of the other options within engineering, and he landed on aerospace engineering. While at Tyler, he also noticed a huge difference. He was loving his classes. His grades started to improve. One of the major things is that at Tyler, we have a lot smaller class sizes than what you would get at the four-year schools, especially in those first 2 years of college, where you have big lecture halls with 200, 300, 400 students, and you are basically just a person in that audience to the professor. It's a lot of work if you really want to be noticed or have that relationship with your professor. But at Tyler, our average class size is 15, and the professor is going to notice if you're there or not. They're going to get to know you. They're going to want to know your goals. They will want to help you achieve what your goals are. And they'll try to find opportunities for you to benefit your goals in the long run. Ravante also got very involved while he was attending Tyler. He was a tutor in the art, because some students that are doing well in classes or have already taken classes can help tutor and work in the ARC. But then there's also professional tutors in there, and professors will hold their office hours in the ARC. So anytime you want to go down and get some help in any of your classes, you don't understand something, you got to start a paper and don't know where to start, you go down to the ARC, and there's always going to be someone in there that will be able to help you. Another way that Ravante got involved was with one of our over 35 clubs, organizations, and sports. He didn't find the one that he wanted, so he actually started one, the robotics team. All he had to do is get a couple friends together, get an academic faculty sponsor, and they created a club. We've got lots of different clubs: student government, intramural sports, and like video game club. Some of the activities that they will put on are student activities are movie nights, trivia nights, college fairs, things like that. And a lot of these events are still happening, even though we're having to do it at a social distance, maybe more virtual level, but things are still going on. There's still ways to get involved, even though we're not actually on campus at the moment. Oh, and then also Ravante, in his last semester, he was accepted into a research internship with the National Science Foundation, which went to Iowa State and worked with a team of researchers to analyze data to help determine what skills are critical for entry-level engineers in the aerospace field. So I think a lot of the time the traditional stereotype is that four-year schools have those internships and things like that, but we have them here as well at community college at Tyler. And our professors are working with all these local companies and businesses to make sure you get those connections. Tanner, in high school, after he was finishing high school, he did not want to go to another 4 years of school. He was kind of tired of that traditional classroom learning setting. He really wanted to be working with his hands, and he wanted to be out in the field making money and learning a trade. So he came to Tyler and he fell in love with drafting and making blueprints. So he was in the architectural drafting program. And while he was in the program, he ended up getting an internship with H.H. Hunt Homes, which is a local home builder. And then right after he completed the program, he was hired right away and works for Mitchell Homes. And this really shows how Tyler's professors and faculty, especially in these trade programs where you need internships and apprenticeships, how our faculty really work with our students to help find those positions and opportunities to get on the job experience. Some of the most popular trade programs that we've got at Tyler are EMS, EMT, nursing, welding, precision machining, HVAC, electricity, and funeral services. These are all fields that are in high need of, they're in high need of more employees. They're constantly coming to our professors and the department heads asking for more people for specific positions. And Tyler's happy to provide their students with these job offers and opportunities. And often we're working with Fortune 500 companies like Rolls-Royce, Amazon, Philip Morris. All these companies need up and coming skilled professionals. So they are constantly coming to us and looking for more employees to hire. Speaking of jobs, Tyler also has a career services. Tyler's Career Services helps students with everything from beginning a job search to ensuring a successful interview. They'll help you create and fine-tune your resume and LinkedIn page. Career Services each semester hosts job fairs and update the informational boards around campus with job postings. They'll also meet with you one-on-one, coach you through how to act in an interview and how to best answer those interview questions that are always so hard. And they'll also give you pointers and assist you with how to dress and look professional for an interview. And if you don't have an outfit to wear to an interview, they'll even provide you with one. You just give them your size and they'll give you a professional attire interview outfit that you can keep. It's just another resource that all Tyler students have access to and helps Tylers reach their goals and are successful. This is Alex Ritchie. She wanted to go to school to become a doctor, a pediatric physician, because she wanted to help people. She, out of high school, was planning on going to a four-year university, but her family encountered some financial issues and she had to reevaluate her plans. And I was actually reading an article about her the other day, and she had this quote, and it says, "I had the typical stereotype about community colleges. I thought it was going to set me back, and I thought it would be looked at differently. Tyler changed my entire outlook on life. I wasn't initially happy about going there, but Tyler helped me find the best version of myself, both as a student and a person." When she came here, she realized how involved and invested the faculty and staff are in their students, and that there are a lot of internship and scholarship opportunities. Not only was community college the route that she felt like she had to take because of the lower cost, but in addition, she got scholarships, so that even offset that cost even more. If you look at the cost of Tyler compared to the four-year schools, we're a fraction of the cost. I have 1/3 up there, but it really depends on the school that you're comparing it to, because a lot of the times it can be more like 1/4 or 1/5 of the cost compared to the four-year schools. One of the internship opportunities that Alex had was that she got to travel to NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, and she worked with NASA engineers and other students as they learned about careers in science and engineering, and they got to work on the prototype for a Mars rover, which I think is really cool. I don't know a lot of people that can say that they've worked on a Mars rover or worked on anything really that's gone to space or another planet, but it's just another opportunity, another support that Alex was able to use while she was at Tyler. After Tyler, she transferred to VCU and is continuing with biomedical engineering. And afterwards, she's going to apply to med school. And also, I want to mention scholarships. John Tyler's Scholarship Foundation has just one application, and when you fill that out, you apply to over 150 scholarships. And it's just one application. The FAFSA isn't required, and although it is recommended because it does apply you to a few more scholarships if that FAFSA is in there. Speaking of paying, if you want to get financial aid, all you have to do is make sure Tyler's on that your FAFSA, and you can work with our financial aid department, and we'll figure out if you want to take out loans, and they'll find grants and other opportunities where you can potentially get more money for financial aid. So Tyler at a glance, 60% of all undergraduate students in Virginia attend a community college at some point in their college career. Tyler has about 14,000 students enrolled each semester. Our average class size, again, is about 15 students. There's 3 different modes of taking classes. That includes online and in-person, and then a hybrid of those 2. A hybrid would look like if you had a class that would typically meet Mondays and Wednesdays, the hybrid class would just be you meet on Mondays and then it's a Zoom session on that Wednesday on campus this fall. We've got 2 campuses, Midlothian campus and then the Chester campus. So the next steps you want to really focus on are listed here. And if you go to this link, you'll find more information about each of them. But basically, after submitting an application, you'll want to set up your My Tyler student account. That's where you'll access the Student Information Center and Navigate. And Navigate is what you'll use to set up appointments, and you can register for your classes on there as well. And then it's also a really good idea after that to meet with advising. If you want to have your transcripts sent from high school, they can look at the transcripts, determine if you need any placement tests, and then you can start getting registered with them. They can help you get registered and on the right track to make sure that you are going to be finished with your program or major in the allotted amount of time that you wanted to. And then also you'll want to make sure you have a plan on how to pay, whether it's using financial aid. The business office does offer a payment plan. And if you're using any military benefits or a tuition assistance program, which if you're working a job right now, it's a really good idea to ask your employer if they have any sort of tuition assistance program. I know that like Walmart, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, some of those big companies have a tuition assistance where they'll pay for your schooling. And then as we get towards the bottom, rent or buy textbooks that you'll need and get connected. So it's really important to get connected because it's kind of how you stay in the loop with what's going on campus. You can see the link to our Facebook right here, and then our Instagram handle. They're posting things all the time about the activities that are going on, some of the clubs and organizations. It keeps you in the know. If you need any help with any of those next steps, please don't hesitate. You can email me, you can text me, and I'll be happy to help you out.